Hi everybody, Shane Sauer with Blueink Title Agency here with our Real Estate Minute. Today I have Michael and Elvia Pantoja and their agents with the Slevin Group at Real Brokers.
That's correct.
And you guys are husband and wife.
Yes, husband and wife have been married for what?
22 years in counting.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Well, I've got some questions for you. We're going to have a little fun if you're ready.
Let's do it.
Ready as we'll ever be. Let's do this.
Awesome. Well, Michael, I'm going to start with you real quick. What's something you're proud of that has nothing to do with real estate?
Oh, well, Shane, that had to be my family. I'm really proud of Elvia, all the things that she's overcome in her life and in our 22-year marriage. I've seen the growth. I've been inspired by it, and I'm proud to just be a small part of that. I'm proud of my son, Emilio. Emilio's the first in our family to earn himself a college degree. So I'm proud as a father to have been a little part of that and seeing him realize his dreams. Santiago, he's our three-sport athlete. He had his challenges, late diagnosis with ADHD,
Okay.
and now he's a three-sport athlete. He wrestles for Queen Creek High School, and he's a great student attending EVIT now, and he's in the aviation program. So how can you not be proud of that? We got two little girls. Camila just made the competitive volleyball team at school, so really proud of. I'm sure she's very proud of herself. But as a father, seeing it come to fruition, seeing her effort, just gain her this spot in the team. Like, I'm just very proud of her. This weekend, our youngest, Victoria, she also is in the volleyball team, and she was in the middle of her game, and Michael Jackson came on and, as like music, like an interim music, a timeout music.
Okay.
And she is a huge Michael Jackson fan. She's going through a Michael Jackson phase right now. So while everybody was just like game planning, she couldn't help herself. She was moving to the group. So she's out there and everybody's cheering her on because Michael Jackson's playing and she's doing the moonwalk and she didn't miss a beat. So as a father, I'm just very proud to be the head of household and to have such an amazing family and just seeing them all realize their dreams.
Wow, fantastic. Elvia,
Yes.
how did you get started in real estate?
Well, we had our kids very young, and we made the choice of making those sacrifices to make sure that I would raise our children. So it wasn't after many years later when the youngest went to school that I decided, okay, well, now what do I do? At that point, he already had his license, so I wanted to help him because he was juggling his 9-to-5 and then the real estate career. So I took a 3-day course to become an assistant, a real estate assistant, only to find out that I really couldn't help him because I needed a license. So I got my license, and I'm proud to say that I passed both my school test and my state test at the first try.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with second and third try. Hey, it's getting to the finish line, right? That matters.
Absolutely. Michael, with that, like, what has failure taught you? Not that you've run into a bunch, but what has it taught you?
Well, I did fail my first school test.
Okay,
for real estate. It's persistence, honest. It was failure that got me into real estate in the first place.
Really?
It was failure. I didn't get the promotion that I thought that I deserved. And so I thought to myself, well, should I invest another 10 years into this company for an opportunity that may or may not be there? I was an award winner and I was a leader in the company, and that opened my eyes to, hey, you should probably invest in yourself because that's probably gonna be the best opportunity you can give yourself. Take that talent, take that work ethic, and do something with it that doesn't depend on somebody giving you that opportunity necessarily. So failure is a strong word. I'm a very competitive person, so I certainly don't like to lose, let alone fail in anything. But it's taught me that some persistence you'll gain character from these failures and these learning opportunities. can't say that I failed a lot, but everything that I've done, I've learned from. And one thing I did want to bring up is there was an Oscar winner, K-pop Demon Hunters. The main singer, the writer for K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you heard of K-pop Demon Hunters?
That's K-pop.
Okay, so that was like an Oscar award-winning film, and the writer and main performer of this music had hit a lot of stumbling blocks in her career.
Okay.
She wasn't given an opportunity to sing her own songs, and so she would write for others. And she said in her Oscar acceptance speech that rejection was just redirection. And that like speaks to me like directly, because I don't think of it as failure. I think of it as a blessing in disguise.
Sure.
And that that rejection was simply redirection to channel my focus into something that was more productive and I think better for me personally, professionally. And who would have known that it was going to be better for my entire family? For Elvia to follow her own ambitions, her own goals and dreams, and for Emilio, my oldest son, to do the same and help us in videography, photography. It's just, it's this failure, perceived failure, is actually something that's the catalyst that changed our lives. Absolutely.
Well said. Well said. Well, let me stay with you for a minute, and here's a question that I'm dying to ask you too. This is a good one. What's it really like working with your spouse every day?
Well, Shane, we've been married 22 years,
Huh?
right, and counting. And Elvia would tell you it feels like a lot longer. She'll tell you that. But in 22 years, the chemistry is undeniable. If I had a word to describe the experience of working with my wife, it's accountability. I think that she will not shy away from letting me know what the expectation is, and vice versa. In a standard traditional workplace, there's you got to be PR, or you have to be sensitive. And when you're living with your best friend and your best business partner that you can think of, it's very productive. We're very accountable. We hold each other very accountable. I come from a background of very high standards. Again, an award-winning maintenance supervisor and instructor. So I had high standards, not just of myself, those that worked with me. And so to have those standards mirrored by my wife and to like hold me accountable for those things, it's great. We've got great chemistry. This husband and wife dynamic that allows us to strategize day and night working with a client. It's constant, and it's this synergy that we have. It just makes for a very productive, inspiring work environment. People talk about, an inspiring, productive work environment at a traditional workplace with your work family. Well, this is my family. This is, and I'll tell you, I love her more now than ever before. I'm more in love with my wife now after 22 years than I was in day one. So I think that just speaks to, I love doing what I do. I love working with my wife, with my son. It's just very inspiring.
I had the pleasure of working with my wife for a couple of years when we first moved out here. We'd ride in together in the morning and then we'd ride home at night. It was different because we'd never done that before, but I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
it was just nice. And maybe we get back to that one day. Who knows?
I would recommend it to anybody that's, it's also done, it's great to have a personal relationship to apply to our business, but it's also very productive to our personal relationship that we have a business that we both share, and that's like a like-minded person, similar goals. So I really think that they complement each other. They cross over into your life on the other side. So I would recommend it to anybody that's been married 1 year, 22 years. It's a great experience, honestly.
Yep, there's more common ground to share, which is nice. Elvia, let's get back into some more real estate here, but what would you tell someone who says, it's too late for me to buy a
Well, I would say it's never too late. According to the National Association of Realtors, the average age of a first-time buyer is actually 38 years old.
Isn't that something?
38. Not that 38 is old.
No.
38 is
But I think that the worst thing that you could do is do something that you're not ready to do. Like if you're not financially stable, if you are not educated on the process, if you don't have the right guidance, it could end very badly. Like our own personal experience, we bought a house when we were 21 years old.
Okay.
We bought it because we felt pressured to buy it because we thought, oh, that's what you do. You get married and you buy a house.
Right.
So we bought it. We were not prepared. We didn't have the guidance, and we were not financially stable, and we lost it. We lost it to a foreclosure. So
Yeah, that was a failure that I think just is relatable. This was the '08 bubble.
Well, and you talked about learning lessons, and there's one right there. You learn.
Yes, and we're not shy to share that experience. And that is, I think, why we do it. And I think why we put so much of ourselves into every client, into every transaction.
try to educate them and make sure that they understand what they're getting themselves into to see if they're ready, because you don't want somebody to end up with a foreclosure.
But I wish then, and it's not to say maybe that we weren't so unprepared, but we were not educated by our realtor. We didn't have the big picture. We didn't see the vision. And so when you don't have that buy-in or that, I guess that big picture, if you don't have that vision, I think it was easier for us to just lose the house, because maybe we did it for the wrong reasons. Maybe we thought that this is just a natural progression, not realizing that maybe this investment isn't for us. This may not be the long-term investment that we wanted out of it. So I think part of representing somebody is giving them the big picture and then just helping them along with the education of how to get to their goals of that big picture. Because we didn't have it, and so that's why we offer it to our friends, our family, anybody that puts their trust in us, in Mike and Elvia, the husband and wife team.
And I do think a lot of younger people, you said you're 21,
Yeah.
they need more education. I think they're not as worldly. They don't have experience of just the world in general. They're fresh out of college or whatever, but they're still young enough to not know credit,
Right.
being payments, being just life, just things, right?
Yeah.
But it does, like you said, it does educate, and you do get a whole new look. You lose a home, and a lot of people did in 08. A lot of people did. I think everybody got a different perspective when things aren't working out the way they're supposed to, or you just didn't know the consequence, or
Right.
name it.
Right. Absolutely.
Elvia, what's something sellers often get wrong when putting their home on the market?
So I would say something they get wrong is not knowing that they have options.
Okay.
A seller doesn't always have to sell, but they don't get presented these options by their real estate agent. A real estate agent is very quick to just take that listing and not explain to them that, hey, what if you rent it out and grow your real estate portfolio? Like, what if you rent it out and you could still qualify to buy another house? So they don't know that. And I guess it just depends on everybody's financial situation and where they're at. But that's always an option, and we encourage everybody to, like, hey, why not? Why not have your own rentals? So we eventually did that.
We have this very ambitious goal, I guess, to leave our children with a home. You know, each one of our children with a home.
So we're almost there.
And it's and any parent would probably want to do something and leave behind some legacy, something for their children. So our modest goal is let's grow a portfolio big enough to leave them all just with their own place. I think, again, like giving somebody the big picture. Hey, why are we selling here? Why are we selling? Why liquidate your equity? Is there a plan for that, so that we can, again, paint the big picture so that they can make educated moves?
Sure.
And In our case, like we want to not sell if our goal is to grow the portfolio for a home for each one of our kids. Maybe somebody else out there has something similar and they think that buying a bigger and better home requires them to sell their equity in their existing home. So it's not always about just selling your home to get the equity to buy the next one. Maybe it's growing the portfolio if somebody just introduces a bigger picture.
And as real estate agents, it's our job to educate our clients and present all the possibilities, present all the options, and put it on them to make that decision for their family.
Absolutely. Well, I've got some rapid fire questions for you here. And we're just... All right. Michael, Beatles or Stones?
That's a good one. I love the Stones' edge. Oh, this should be rapid, right? I love the edge of the Stones, but I grew up with the Beatles. For me, it's John Lennon and the Beatles, man.
All right. Elvia, coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee, for sure. Like,
Wow.
Coffee, what do you call it? Coffee?
Addict? Addiction, is it?
I guess to call it that. I love coffee.
Michael, early bird or night owl?
Oh, God, I think it's both. I think sleeping is a waste of time. It's just a waste of...
He'll say, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Right? Nothing good happens when you're sleeping, right?
Shane, I love to party. What can I say?
Love it. Elvia, what's your favorite restaurant in the Southeast Valley?
Oh, well, there's one. It's called Chilaquiles Kitchen, Modern Kitchen.
Okay.
It's delicious. It's Mexican food. So we've actually taken a couple of our clients there and we love it.
Chilaquiles, we recommend it. But may I recommend another?
Sure.
You might have heard of this one because it's here on Bell Vista. Bojangles. Everybody, if you don't know now, Mike told you.
I've heard good things. I haven't been there, but I've heard good things.
Yes, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Michael, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice I've ever received is probably not the best advice, actually, but it stuck with me. And it was good advice.
Okay.
I must have been yes, it counts. It stuck with me because I was in the 6th grade and it may not have been the most wise of advice, but in the 6th grade, I thought, wow, look at these words of wisdom coming upon me. My best friend, we were at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I was a little hesitant to get on the Viper ride. It had loops, and in the 6th grade, it was all scary, and I said, you guys go ahead, I'm gonna hang back. He turns and looks at me and says, Mike, really? Like, it's not gonna kill you? You're not gonna come off that ride? You're not gonna die, are you? And I said, no, I guess I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna live to tell about it. And so look at this, it's come full circle. I've lived to tell about it. So seize your moment. Don't be afraid to, I guess, face the scary situations head on. You'll live to tell about it and you'll be better for it.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you both on today. Any last words for the folks out there?
I would say follow your dreams. Don't be afraid to face challenges head on. If you don't know, don't be afraid to ask. There's people all around you willing to help. We would be one of them.
Yes, I would say if you're interested in buying, have any questions, or you want to talk about real estate, like don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.
Happy to help.